Welcome to today's European SharePoint Office 365 and Azure Community webinar. My name is Shane and I'm delighted to be joined by Dona Sarkar, Microsoft USA, who will be talking to you today about how to use Power Platforms for fame and fortune. Remember to join in the conversation about today's webinar on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is @EuropeanSP and our hashtag is ESPC20. Don't forget to check out the Resource Center. This is updated daily with the latest blogs, ebooks, webinars, and how-to videos. Simply visit sharepointeurope.com and click the content link at the top. After the webinar, we will have a questions and answers session. Type any questions you have for Dona in the questions window. Questions will be selected and answered at the end of the presentation. This webinar will be recorded and added to the Resource Center, where you'll be notified by email when it is available. And now I'm going to pass you over to our webinar presenter, Dona Sarkar. Hello, Dona.
Hey, everyone, how are you? I'm going to attempt to show my screen, and I'm going to... Hello, hi, everyone. So I've never done a coding demo on a video call before, so this whole thing feels very weird and random, but we're going to do the best we can. And please do ask me questions in this window over here, which I'm keeping an eye on, and I'm going to attempt not to get distracted by all of the amazing questions you're going to ask. I am so glad that you joined us this morning, and I'm so glad that you're taking the time to take a pause from your day or as you start your day and really invest in learning about what we in the tech community and what the Power Platform can do for you. So thank you very much for joining us. I am highly reachable and highly findable on Twitter and LinkedIn. On Twitter, I am at Dona Sarkar, single N Dona, because single N is more efficient than, N squared. And on LinkedIn, Dona Sarkar, really easy to find, and I'm really, really excited to engage with all of you. Okay, so I am going to get started on this demo. Let me tell you a bit of a backstory. Hopefully everyone can see my screen, Shane, without incident. All right, I'm a principal advocate of the Power Platform at Microsoft, where I do a lot of work with advocacy and customer engagement all over the world. That is my day job. But on the side, early mornings and late nights and weekends, I run a fashion company called Dona Studios. This is a real business. We have been around for about a year and a bit. We actually launched a few physical pop-ups and such last August. And this is a small business that I'm deeply passionate about and something that I plan to run for the rest of my life. I plan for it to be a side thing for about, the next 15, 20 years and eventually have it be a full-time gig. Now, the thing to keep in mind is small business owners are weird animals. They don't go find the best tech possible to solve their problem. They actually just go and use whatever tech solves their problem right at that minute. It doesn't matter how technologically complex it is or how much of a fun tech challenge it is or how even secure it is. It's not a good thing, but that is the reality of most small business owners. Especially right now where everyone's kind of stuck at home, small business owners are running around trying to solve their problem so they can keep doing the most important thing, which is bringing in an income, bringing in a living, as well as serving their customers. So today I'm going to be wearing the hat of a small business owner. I'm not going to be a software engineer at Microsoft, and I'm going to solve the problems for Prima Donna, just like maybe thousands of retailers out there do. And these are real stories of real retailers who solve problems using pretty much these kinds of tools. I'm just putting a Power Platform spin on them. Okay, so let's get started. First, we've got our homepage, primadonnastudios.com, and you can see that this is your basic retailer homepage. I just built this in GoDaddy with GoCentral, which is something lots of people use. And then we are hosting our e-commerce site on Shopify, which is something I think 99% of online e-commerce companies start with. So you can see we've got our standard pages. just like every company, we've also got an FAQ, fabulously asked questions, of course. And we've got, our shop where you can see all of our everything that's for sale and our cart, etc. So one of the things that we have learned from running this business is customers want to hear feedback from other people like them. So before they go and commit to buying something, they actually want to see customer feedback. So instead of us doing something like, oh, let's go to an Amazon site, we want to build our own. So what I'm going to do for that is build a customer feedback site right into the Power Platform. So let's go to where we start building all Power Appsy type of things. Make.powerapps.com. If you haven't been there, go check it out today. Just make.powerapps.com. Sign in with if you've gotten Azure Active Directory, use that. If you don't have one and you want to try it out, I would recommend signing up for an M365 dev account. Just look up how to make an M365 dev account, and you have the opportunity to try out Power Platform for 3 months. I highly recommend you go that route if you've never done this before. So once you have your account set up, come to make.powerapps.com, and the first thing we're going to build is this thing called a Power Apps portal. So a Power Apps portal is something that is relatively new. I would say about a year-ish new. It entered general availability last year, and it is a website that's low code that anyone can build for their business. Now, this website can be internal facing or it can be external facing. It's got a whole sign-in capability so that you can have it be something that your employees log into. For the purposes of Prima Donna, I'm going to make an external facing web page where we're going to list and upload our customer data. Now, I want this to be something that we update quite often, that my team can update quite often, and that customers can go to see what all the feedback is. So we're going to build a Power App portal by going to Apps over here. And we can say, actually, you know what? Let's do this. We would go to Create and say, we would build a portal from blank. So I've already built a portal in this account, and they highly recommend we only build one portal per account. So I can't actually build another, but if you want to, you can go ahead and name your portal and then choose your language, figure out what you want your portal to be, put in the address you want it to be hosted at, and then click create. This does take about 15 minutes to provision because it's going to reach into CDS and populate entities and all of these things. So it will take it takes about 15 minutes. Now I've pre-made this so you're not stuck here listening to me yap, and we can see this portal here. Right now we're going to edit the portal that I've already made and bring you along for this journey. Okay. My internet is slow, so if we randomly lose connectivity, we will connect back with you as soon as possible. This is what happens when everyone is at home using the same internet at the same time. So the portal edit page is coming up, and once it comes up, you'll see that it looks a little like this. You can see that we've got the sign-in capability here. I've pulled in my logo. Is this ready yet? Nope. Okay, there you go. I'll take a second. Yeah, there you go. So I've pulled in my logo here. Let me just move this. Oops. Don't need that right now. It's pretty straightforward to change whatever you want here. You can see that, this was the blank text, and I've now put in, we love customer feedback. You can have emojis in your text, which is awesome. And, just fill in the page to be kind of whatever you want it to be. I've uploaded some basic pictures as well as real customer feedback. This is not even dummy data, real customer feedback that I'll be showing you a spreadsheet of customer feedback later that we're using to populate this. And we also realize, along with customer feedback, our customers want a place where they can ask us questions. So I've put this scary picture in, and I actually want to figure out a way that customers can ask questions and get answers from an authoritative, legit source, but one that is fairly automated for standard questions. So every customer has questions like, do you have these sizes? Or do you ship to Galway, Ireland? Or do you have a store where I can try stuff on? So instead of us always taking the time to answer these questions and making sure no customer questions fall through the crack, we're going to build a Power Virtual Agent chatbot to do this work for us. Because what we really want is some amount of consistency and goodness in our customer engagement. So Power Virtual Agents is a new-ish thing in the Power Platform. If you haven't tried it yet, you should. It is so fun. I actually think it's probably the most fun thing in Power Platform. And I highly recommend that everyone try it out at some point or another. So here is what we are going to do today. We're going to go to powerva.microsoft.com. That same M365 dev account you signed up for, if you don't have an AAD, it's going to work here as well. So let's go over here. When you go to powerva.microsoft.com, you are going to just come to this page, and you can see that the bot that's kind of built in has got a bunch of topics that are just auto-generated for you. So when you come here, you're going to have these standard simple topics, and then you're going to have a bunch of system topics. These topics are set up so you actually learn how to do things. You learn a simple topic, and then you learn like a simple topic with a condition, then you learn with variables and pre-built stuff, and then custom entities. Now, we can go through and customize all of these, or we can actually do something kind of interesting and cool that not everyone knows about, but I wish they would. So we are going to generate a bunch of questions for our bot to know and respond to using the FAQ that we already wrote. So if you'll recall, Prima Donna Studios, we have an FAQ. It's right here, fabulously answer questions. We ask, these are the questions that we actually get from customers a lot. Why do you want to get banned from Fashion Week? When are you going to make men's clothing? By the way, August 15th, our men's line is going live, so stay tuned, all you dudes out there. Do you have a store where I can try stuff on? I'd love one of these. Do you have it in stock? How does your sizing work, etc. So we have an FAQ page. What are we going to do with it? Come back to Power Virtual Agents, and let's get started. So over here, you just put in the link to your FAQ. Add and start. So what is happening right now is Power Virtual Agent is using the magic of AI Builder and using a little bit of machine learning to pluck all of these questions and have this be the question and this be the answer. So then when a customer asks this question, you get, that's right, the answer. Now this is going to take a few minutes. So while this is processing, let me show you something else. Oh, actually that didn't take very long at all. There you go. So you look at all these and you say, okay, why do you want to get banned from New York Fashion Week? Is that a question we want? Yes. When are you going to make men's? When are you going to do this? When are you going to do this? When are you going to do this? Yep, these are all the questions. These are all trigger questions. I want to add these to my topics. So I add these to the topics. There you go. Topics, and then go back to topics. Uh-oh. Hang on. What just happened? Back to topics. And you can see all of these new ones right up here. Now, we've got a bunch of topics. We've also got a greeting, and we've got a lot of stuff that we can use to customize our bot. Now, I don't like standard greetings, so I want to actually change the greeting of my bot a little bit. So here is the standard greeting that all Power Virtual Agents come with. Hello, I'm a virtual agent. I can help you with account questions, orders, store stuff, etc. If you'd like to speak to a human, let me know. I'm like, yeah, this is fine, but it's not very diva-ish, right? Prima Donna's vibe is, we're a diva, we're mad at the fashion industry, we're disruptive. So let's be a little more on brand. Hello, darling, and guess what? You can use emojis. So if you don't know, if you're using a Windows PC, hit the Windows key and the period, and you get the emoji panel. And we're just gonna add some emojis. Hello, darling. I'm a virtual agent. I can help with account questions, orders, store information, and so much more. Here we go. Yes, including flattery. Okay. If you'd like to speak to, so I like my bot to refer to me as my human. I don't want to be an agent. I want to be a human. If you want to speak to my human, let me know at any time. She'll have info and probably yell at you. Just kidding. So what can I help you with? So the Diva bot, the Prima Donna Diva bot is a little more diva-ish now. We'll save that. And now we've learned to make this a little bit better. Save, let's get back over here. One other thing that I want to do is handle the escalation path. So imagine we've reached a point where the customer is not finding the bot to be as useful. They want to be able to escalate and call a human. So how can we choose what we want that escalation path to be? We can do lots of things. We can have them call a number. We can have them send a text message. I actually really want my team, which is the Prima Donna team, to be able to see all of the customer escalations, because every customer escalation is an opportunity for us to learn about how to make our business better. So rather than just pinging me, Donna, directly, I want them to ping our teams. So we've set up this teams, this Prima Donna teams, and you can see that, you know, it's a standard Microsoft Teams channel. We have some guests here. And I really like teams for this, where say we're working with a specific fabric vendor, we can add them as a guest, and once we're done working with them, we can remove them. Our teams is mostly a lot of talk about sheep and cats and stuff, and some customer engagement. So what I want to do is have customer questions arrive in the teams directly. So what I'm going to do, I don't know if you all know this, I just learned about this recently. Every Teams has an email address. So I would just grab this email address here, see this, and copy. And then I would say to connect with my human, send her a quick mail here. So I did this right before. And then you can save it. Now, when a customer wants to escalate using one of these triggers, it's going to actually send an email directly to the team, so everyone can see that there's a customer with a real question. There's many other things you could do. You could trigger a flow, like, hang on, I'll do one. So you can call an action and trigger a flow through Power Automate. Oh, slow internet, why you do this? I know if I do this, the internet's gonna come to a complete crawl. So you can create a flow, and that flow can do something like pin an adaptive card to the teams and all kinds of things. But for the purposes of this, we are going to just send this email to the Teams channel. So we've done all this. Let's actually publish the bot so that we can test it out. So this bot is going to publish right here. Go to publish. There, publish the latest content. Yep. Now this does take about 5 or 10 minutes. So while the bot is publishing, we are going to look at some financial data. Yeah, finances. Now, this is probably my least favorite part of running a business, which is looking at sales and dealing with all of these spreadsheets. Oh my God, all of these spreadsheets. So these are all of our sales or revenue, you can see this is the country that things were sold in. This is the silhouette, meaning the name of the dress that we sold, the sizes. We do all sizes, including custom. We have all kinds of interesting colors. All these colors are based on fabrics that I've traveled around the world and collected, hoarded, people call it, but whatever. Revenue, as well as the month and the year that these sales happen. So this is our basic financial spreadsheet. This is how 99% of businesses track their finances, by the way, are in Excel spreadsheet. I have dyslexia, so I find Excel to be incredibly confusing and very, very difficult to use. But It's mandatory, and I've found some ways to make it easier for myself, which I'll share with you. On another tab, we are starting to collect all this customer feedback. So we get a ton of feedback in person, as well as through this clothing rental company we partner with called Armoire. So Armoire is an AI-based clothing rental company. They're based also here in Seattle, Washington, and they only present to you clothing you'll want to rent based on your preferences and your style, which I really love. So Prima Donna is one of their small businesses, locally owned businesses that they host and sponsor. And it's been amazing to get so much customer data through Prima Donna because these are people who we never would have reached otherwise. So the way we track customer feedback right now, this is not the best way. Actually, the best way, and I'll show you how to do that, is through CDS because it is a relational database. So I can say, here is one shape, an Iwana hourglass named after my very good friend Iwana, done in scarlet silk. And here is all of the customer feedback for it. Right now we have one field per feedback, which is dumb. We should actually be building a relational database where we can see all the feedback for one thing in one place. So the way to do that is actually to transfer our data to CDS, which is next on our list of things to do, probably next week. So right now you can see that we've got the name of each thing, the SKU, the textile, blah, blah. I've got my images all stashed in the cloud for each of these dresses, and you can see the customer name. We've got these scores, badass score, meaning how much of a badass do you feel like when you wear our clothes, and then compliment score, how many compliments did you get? We pride ourselves in these scores because we believe people should feel really good, and we believe that people feel really good when they get compliments. It's been this ongoing thing where when people wear prima donnas, they actually get the most compliments they've ever gotten in their entire lives. It is fascinating how that happens. And so many of our customers tell us that I've had people chase me down the street to ask me where I got this. So here are all of our financials and how things are working. What I would like to do, because I hate looking at this Excel, it's making me insane, is to make a Power App to look at the customer feedback in a much better way. Now, I'm going to do what every small business owner should be doing if they run off of an Excel. Now, I know many of you know how to use Power Apps with SharePoint lists, with Excel, with CDS. This is something that I am trying to get every small business owner in the world to learn to do. And I've been hosting a ton of, before the virus, I was hosting in-person sessions with small business owners, getting them to use Power Apps, and it is fun. So as you can see, we go to Power Apps, new Power App, choose the Excel file. I'm just going to choose the Excel that I had, stashed it in here, Prima Donna Financials, and the table. And you can see this is all based on this feedback table here. So this table's name is customer feedback. So that is the one we're going to choose, customer feedback. And this Power App is going to generate. So we're getting things ready. Power App is generating. While this Power App generates, we are going to check in on our portal. So let's check in on the portal. Did we publish? Yep. You can see that there's this demo website. So back to the virtual agent. Let's listen this demo website. Okay. So let's try testing it. Hello. There you go. Hello, darling. I'm a virtual agent. I can help, blah, blah, blah. What can I help you with? So there we go. Demo website. That is working out great. Let's go back to our Power App. Still generating. Done. All right. Now you can see that this is the This is the ugliest Power App in the history of ugly Power Apps. It's kind of the default generated, so it's not its fault. I didn't give it a lot of really great data to work with, nor did I give it any CSS or any of the fancy design stuff. I am not a UX person, so let's go with that. Therefore, I am going to use these default templates. So we come over onto this tree view and click Browse Gallery to choose this gallery of stuff. And then we're actually going to make it a gallery. You can see in layouts, there's a bunch of options. You can do it in list view. You can have it, different list views. Do you like my incredibly slow internet? We can do these, but my favorite one is, okay, come on. That was not helpful. My favorite one, actually, for looking at visuals are, I'm going to do this here, are so the reason we're having such weird issues is because I'm using a Windows Insider build. And just because I no longer run the Windows Insider team does not mean I don't run Insider builds. And I'm having some weird driver issues on this machine, but that's okay. So I'm going to switch to this gallery view. And I actually want these fields that we show up in the main page to be a little more useful. So at the top, we definitely want the image. We also want to see the customer's name and their feedback. So let's choose feedback and let's choose the customer's name. No, that was data source. We want the customer's name. Okay, so this is pretty good. Now, to see how your Power App looks, click the play button, and you can see that this is how the Power App would look on your phone, on your web browser, or we'll show you how it looks in Teams as well. So click into one of these. Ooh, that page is ugly. We need to fix this page. We can also create, edit this, edit the data, and we can create new ones. So as my team runs into new customer feedback, they would just do this. So let's get out of, view mode and actually fix up that page. So I don't like this. This looks very terrible. Let's fix it. There are people who are so very good at this. I am not one of them. I just solved the problem rather than messing with UX look and feel. This is an internal app. I should do a lot more work with UX look and feel, but as a small business owner, it's just not that much time. So the image matters. So let's move it up higher. Okay, there you go. Where did it go? Let's move the image up higher. Yep. The badass score and all of this, it's fine. I actually care a lot more about the customer name. The customer name here. And then the feedback, compliment score, the badass score, let's move that down a little bit. I'm sure this is what you all wanted to do today, was watching me mess around with this gallery view. Okay, so there you go. So this is what a page, you know what, I don't like this view. I want, let's see if it looks better in horizontal. So if you saw what I just did, you switch to layout. And, oh yeah, this is better. Now I can see all of it in one place. And let's have a look here. And that's how it would look. We would say, look at a piece of customer feedback, get the customer name, the feedback, etc. Alrighty, now we have this Power App. Save it. Save it. Save it. Make sure to save it. I'm not going to name it app. I'll name it Prima Donna Customer Feedback. Okay. And that here. Okay, so let's go back to where we were. What are we going to do with that? With that Power App, we are going to actually pin it to our teams. So if you recall, we've got the Teams team. You can see my team is hard at work right now talking about sheep and such, but I'm going to plug in a bit of a dose of reality, like, hey folks, we've got customer feedback that we need to address and take care of. So we can have this Power App on all of our phones and all of our web browsers, but I actually find it really, really cool to have it pinned to the Teams as well, so that we don't really have to break out of our workflow to see what our customer feedback is. Let me go over here. So search for it. Prima Dona, there it is. Prima Dona customer feedback. So I'm going to post to the channel about this tab. And now we have it. We've got this app in the Teams itself. There's a whole bunch of apps you can choose. Like if you click over here in apps, there's so many things. You can have your Power Automates working here. You can have Power BIs. Speaking of Power BIs, I think we should do one later. We'll figure out what that is, but let's wait for this to open back up. So if any of you are going to do live demos and you are worried about that your internet is not going to be amazing, just keep in mind my amazing demo with my horribly slow internet. So here we go, Power App. It works exactly as we had. And let's ping the team. Dear team, customer feedback Power App is here. Let's review and make changes. So that is one way that I really like to use Power Apps, just embedded within the Teams. Okay, so let's come back to the Power Virtual Agent that we had built. We built the Power Virtual Agent. This demo thing is working. Now, we don't want to send customers to this demo website. We actually want to embed this bot into our website, whether it's that Power Virtual, whether it's the Power Portal, Power Apps portal, or whether it's our Prima Dona website itself. So how can we do that? Let's go to Manage over here, and you see channels. So Manage channels. You can now configure your bot to show up on any custom website. Now, if you want to embed this into a normal website like Prima Dona Studios, we would just copy this whole piece of code and embed it into a page. But I'm going to put it into that Power Apps portal, which is already an iframe. So I'm just going to copy this iframe source right here. And we are going to go back over here. Oops. I know, my trial's gonna move this over here. Okay, so we're back to our Power Apps portal. And what we're gonna do is, first of all, we're gonna get rid of the scary bot because our bot is not scary, our bot is friendly. So let's use something we really like, Clippy. So Clippy is, of course, our original assistant, and why not have Clippy be, the voice of customer helping? So how we're going to do this is we're going to now embed an iframe. We'll come over here and just jump up here. And you can see that you can add these portal components on this side. We're going to embed an iframe, and then it shows up over here. And then right now, the default iframe is going to be this Bing page, but I want to replace it with my portal. Oops, what did I do? Oh, that's good. Did I do this wrong? I copied it wrong. I did copy it wrong. Okay. See, you know that this is real. There's no demo magic here, y'all. This is real life. I'm sure all of you want to see me squinting at this screen all day. Someone's like, hey, Donna, why don't you have a live coding channel? I'm like, it would be a lot of this. So we've got that, but we want to, window is very tiny, like DivaBot. No, we need this to be bigger, maybe 1200. Again, UX person, I am not. Let's, ooh, all UX people are like, no, Donna, don't leave it like that. Okay. Let's do 1100. Yeah, that looks pretty okay. It's 500 maybe. So it's not like a huge window, but that's the trick. Yeah, there you go. That's pretty good. So now when customers have a question, they can just ask it in our virtual agent. So browse website, and let's do a refresh so we can see this working. Refresh. See it working. Ta-da, this is where the magic happens. Come on, bot. Do this. Okay, so here are the customer things that we've done. We have set up a Power Apps portal so people can start seeing our customer feedback. We, of course, have a lot of customer feedback to add. We've set up this bot so that customers can actually ask us questions right here. And we have created a Power App that we have now pinned to our teams. So I think we're ready to actually have a customer visit us. We ready? All right. Of course, we're like going way over on time, so let's do this. All right. Customer arrives. Now I am playing the role of a customer. Customer arrives at Prima Donna Studios. They're like, oh, okay, this is interesting. These look beautiful and such, but I really want to try these on. How do we do that? Now, imagine that we've actually hooked up the Power Apps portal. They were like, okay, we're at customer feedback. I'm going to add this link up here. Just be like, see our customer feedback. So they're like, oh, we love customer feedback. See what customers are saying about us. I love the vivid color. I like this. Yeah, I have a question for you. So do you, oops. What's this type?
DivaBot.
Ah, I turned on voice. Do you have a store? Do you have a store where I can try these on? And you know what I did wrong? You all are going to laugh at me so hard, but this is real code. Look at this. Here's what I messed up. See, I knew I'd mess this up. I imported all these topics and I didn't turn status on. You see these? You have to turn them on. And if I tested my bot correctly, I would have known that. But I didn't. So we're going to turn all these on now. And all the lagginess you're seeing is my internet, folks. It's not actually this thing. So we're going to turn these back on, and we're going to publish latest content. Let's wait. Available to you in 15 minutes. Okay, so imagine that I actually embedded the right thing. Can you rephrase and try again? We would say, let's go with, let's choose one of those standard questions that we've got. This is the good reason to have pre-made topics. We can say, you know, when are you closed? And it gives you some answers like, here's some store hours. We don't actually have a store, but imagine we did, etc. And let's go to a question that we, you know what I've learned? That we need this window to be a little bigger. There you go. Does this answer your question? No, it doesn't answer my question. I'm not able to. Would you like to talk to a human agent? Try rephrasing. Talk to an agent. There you go. To connect with my human, send her a quick mail. So let's send a quick mail here. I'm using my other email address, so we would just send an email. We'd say, do you have any stores where I can try these on? So let's send that mail. Now, what happens? Let's check on the teams, shall we? So the customer sends a mail, and did it arrive here? Oh, look. You can see that the customer question has landed here. Now, what I want to do is answer the customer directly from here, but I also want to make sure that she has a really good experience. So let's do a bit of research and figure out what we can do for this customer. You know what is I know what else I want to show you. This is how Dona changes demos on the fly. Imagine the customer. Let's go back to our customer question. I know exactly what I want to show you. I want to actually show you a Power BI dashboard that we generate based on our sales data. Why don't we have the customer ask a question like, okay, have a customer ask, where did the Diva bot go? You can say, what is your best seller? The bot doesn't know that. Let's say call agent. And customer will ask this question. Okay. And we'll say, what is your best seller? So, oops. I have all the browsers open today because we were testing out stuff. So we've got a little bit of a lag right now. There you go. What is your best seller? Now, I don't actually know what our best seller is right off the top of my head. It is in this crazy spreadsheet, I'm sure, where it has all of our financials and our sales data. But instead of me going through here and trying to figure out what that is, let's do something in Power BI. Now, Power BI is probably the part of the platform that you know the most, and because it's been around for a long time. So over here in the corner, I've got this get data thing. So I'm going to pull in my Excel spreadsheet. Pull in Excel. Let's do this. Okay. Let's go back to the folder where I've stashed this. Financials and feedback. Okay. I want to connect to this data source. Let's do that now. Alrighty. There you go. So this is the one we want to see. Now, just make it bigger so we can see it. You can see that there's these visualization tools on the side. We're going to want to see the financials data. Now, the question the customer had was, what is your best seller? So we want to see silhouette and revenue. So which silhouette has brought in the most revenue? And then let's just use like a basic bar chart looking thing. There you go. It's really basic. It's not very attractive, but it does tell me that the keynote, the Katie keynote, is our best seller, like by a lot. And our next one is the Raji Rager, which is doing very, very well for being brand new. So I find this information to be useful, and I want my team to have it too. So I want to actually pin this. I will save it. Save it. Okay, you can see that this report is now saved. This report's saved, and we can use it across a variety of things into the dashboard. Yep. So now, whenever I come back here to this dashboard, I'll be able to see that right down here in this giant dashboard. Okay, so how does that help me? I can just go ahead and answer the question to the customer directly and say like, What I would do is just view original email. It just downloads right here. Slowly downloads. There it is. Just open up an email. What did you do? Nope. I would just open an email item, and then I could just respond to it like that. But what I want to do is actually that Power BI dashboard I made, I actually want to pin it to my Teams channel so then anyone can use it. There you go. So I love having these apps available in Teams so that we can access everything just in one place without having to keep an eye on my various dashboards and channels and OneDrive shares, et cetera, et cetera. And for a dyslexic person, seeing revenue by silhouette like this is way the heck easier than looking at that Excel spreadsheet. So we'll just post on the Teams. Sales dashboard by bestseller posted for your dyslexic. I can't spell dyslexic. Dyslexic friend. Okay, so that is where we end our demo. That is how we would handle all of these very, very interesting customer issues that come up all the time in real businesses. So I promised that we would leave time for questions. And now I'm trying to find the question window. You'll have to forgive me, I don't use...
I have them here, Donna. I can call them out to you.
Awesome.
Yeah, great. So thanks for a great presentation, Donna. Yes, now we will start the questions and answers part. And should you wish to ask a question, please do type it into the questions window now. Okay, first question, Donna. What are you going to do next with the Power Platform for your business?
Okay, so there are a few things that I realize we need for Prima Donna. First, and this is totally something cool and interesting. I don't know if you saw, but we just released mixed reality for Power Platform. It's in private preview. You just look up mixed reality for Power Platform, and you can go and get a bunch of mixed reality tools that work within Power Apps. So imagine being able to, it would be on your phone, so you would be able to say, okay, let me be able to measure this space. So we are planning a pop-up this fall once the quarantine and exile lifts. We want to plan a pop-up for our men's launch, but a huge part of planning any sort of in-store event is spatial things. How much space do we have? How big can the clothes rack be? Can we fit a couch in here? Can we fit a dartboard randomly? And using mixed reality to actually measure spatially would be amazing and really, really helpful. So that's one thing I want to do. The second thing I want to do is actually move all of our data from Excel to CDS, because it is a relational database. It is way more secure. It's a way to keep your data in one place, clean, secure, accessible across all of these things. Right now, if we wanted to make a Canvas app, Excel is not going to work. We're going to need CDS for that. If we want to, say, stash all of our question and answer data for Power Virtual Agents at the same place as our sales data, we can't do that with Excel spreadsheets. So that is actually next on my list, as in this weekend or next week, move all of our stuff to CDS. I was going to show you that, but just look up CDS. You'll see all these entities. It's a really, really good relational database. I'm not just biased. It's pretty new to me, but that is next on my list of things to do. The third thing that I want to do, and this is going to be fun, is I handwrite stuff all the time. And one of the main use cases for people who make clothes is we write down measurements. So if I was going to go measure someone to just get their fit, I would say, waist this much, chest this much, back this much. It's always the same set of measurements and the numbers are always different. So I thought, like, why not use AI Builder to process these forms? I have maybe 30 forms I need to process right now, and I hand wrote all of them, but they all have the exact same requirements. So I'm going to use AI Builder form processing tool to process all of that information, and I'll be able to say these measurements are complete, these are not complete, and then send them to various tailors as need be. So those are the three that I really want to do. Then there's a crazy one. I don't know if it's possible yet. I want to be able to predict which fabric people are going to like more. So in this jacket, will people like this blue one or this green one? And be able to use AI Builder, the image detection and image prediction to be able to say, this is something that people are going to like just based on past bestsellers. We have bestseller data, so why not use it to predict future success? So those are some of the, I think we asked for one thing. I gave you 4 things that I really want to work on. So early mornings, late nights, and weekends, along with actually running the business, shipping things to customers, etc.
Super. Okay, next question. Is there a plan for changing Power Platform's licensing again?
So I would love to talk about future stuff, but I like my job and I love remaining employed. Licensing is one of those incredibly complex topics, and the best time to hear about licensing and the best time to ask a lot of questions about licensing is at big conferences when there are people who actually decide licensing things, right? Licensing is based on a whole bunch of random factors, like how much it costs to store data in that country, how much it costs to store all of your Power Apps in the cloud. And the people who figure out licensing prices are far better at Excel things than I am. So I could not tell you whether there is a plan to change licensing prices going forward, but there are 3 upcoming opportunities to ask those questions about current licensing or future licensing. They are MBAS, which is the Microsoft Business Apps Conference. That's May 7th through, okay, hang on. I'm going to tell you exactly so I'm not making stuff up. May 5th through 7th is MBAS, Microsoft Business Apps Summit. Second is Build Conference. So these are both going to be virtual events, so anyone can attend. Please attend. Build Conference, May 19th through 21st. The third one, of course, Ignite, which was New Orleans, now Ignite Virtual, is going to be September 20th through 25th. So those are 3 opportunities to come and ask those questions.
Great. In relation to the bot that you built, does it still work if I ask similar questions to yours?
The bot that, oh, yeah. So natural language processing. Now, the bot is actually really interesting because I've been playing around with the natural language processing where I say, change around a few words, change around how people would ask. And it works incredibly well for some, and others it's like, needs a few tweaks here and there. So I spend a lot of time looking at what are the various questions customers ask and just writing them down. And yes, I write them down in an Excel spreadsheet. Writing them down and then training the bot to answer those questions. So it works very well for some cases. Other cases needs work. But the best way to do it is to just train the bot yourself. I'm a control freak. I want to train my own bot myself. I'm spending a bunch of time doing that. But try the various variations. Start with the standard pre-generated bot and see which of those works with a little bit of variance and which of those you actually need to tweak to suit your own voice and the way you talk to customers.
Okay. How can we add the Power App to Power App portal created using Power Platform?
How can we add a Power App?
Okay. Don't make me repeat it. It's like a tongue twister. Okay. How can we add the Power App to Power App portal created using the Power Platform?
Okay. I think this is a trick question. So it depends on what you're trying to do. If you want to embed a Power App within the portal and have it be live, I actually don't know how to do that. I've not done that before. I wonder if you can. Yeah, I have no idea. The 3 places I know that Power Apps work incredibly well are in a web browser independently, on your phone, and in Teams. These are the 3 endpoints of Power Apps that I use that I found to work very, very well. I actually think you probably want to visualize the data in a Power App differently on a web page embedded with other things.
Yeah, I think they're referring to how to see the feedback app. Sorry,
Oh,
how to see
okay.
the
In
feedback
Power,
app in the portal.
yeah, I think I would just have to visualize it differently. I would use the exact same data. But step one, by the way, Power Portal, its data source is CDS. So that's another reason, thank you, whoever asked that question, for reminding me to talk about this. The data source for Power Portal, Power Apps Portal, is CDS. So it's another reason to move all of our data to CDS itself. And that way I can use that same data store to publish to Power Apps Portal, as well as Power Apps, as well as, who knows where else. So yet another reason. It might be that CDS moving is the first thing I do next, rather than the fun mixed reality project that I was really excited to do. If I can work with data versus cool mixed reality, fine, I'll work on data.
Great. Does everything you are using today, except the GoDaddy resources, come with Office 365?
No. Good question. So there's different pricing models for all of these things. To try, you can try all of them right now for free for like some large amount of months. As you can, I have not actually paid for any of this yet. I'm trying them out to see how they work for me and work for my business. So get that M365 dev account, or what I did was actually set up my own Azure tenant. So I have my own Azure tenant, Prima Donna Studios, Azure websites, whatever.com, .net, and made my own tenant. That's why I'm able to connect between all of these things as well as Teams. So I live off of the tenant, and I've been in trial mode for, you saw those notifications, your trial will expire in like 3 months or 15 days or something. But I haven't expired out of trial mode for any of these yet, but I would use them, see what's really relevant for you and your business, and then I would go and get each one separately licensed. I actually really like that they're not bundled together, because I may decide I really like AI Builder, but I don't like virtual agents, or I really like virtual agents, but I don't like Power Apps Portal. So I like the fact that they're all separate, and you can kind of choose what makes the most sense for your specific business.
Okay. Another question on the bot. Can you log what visitors to your bot are asking to help train the bot to answer new questions?
Yeah. So one of the things, and I should have shown you that, I'm going to write that down for next time. See, I'm like, we're insidering this presentation. One of the things that's really cool about Power Virtual Agents is you can track what customers are asking and what you answered successfully and what you didn't answer successfully. So it really helps you be able to capture all of those customer questions. And there's also the sentiment analysis thing that I thought was super cool, but we would have gone way over. You can figure out what was the sentiment of the customer. And if it's starting to go negative, like, Mayday, Mayday, call for help immediately. And I thought that was awesome, and definitely something I'm going to put into the bottom of my page.
Cool. Virtual fitting is another
Yeah.
use case for mixed reality in Power Apps. Is that possible?
Not yet, but, well, actually, I don't know. I don't actually think it's possible yet. Power Apps mixed reality is in super private preview and very limited usage things, but I don't know if you saw in my Teams, but I'm in the private preview right now. If you sign up, you can come join me in the Teams. I am actively trying out a lot of these fitting problems and giving a lot of feedback on. This is a huge problem for the fashion industry. It's also a big problem for architecture and all of these things, where does this thing fit here? And will this fit on that? So imagine interior design and that kind of thing. Those are all use cases that I want to exist. And I'm getting a ping for my next meeting. That I want to exist, but do not exist yet. So we will co-create and enable them to exist. So I hope you join me. Okay, we are officially out of time.
We're officially out of time. I was just about to say that, Donna. Yeah. There is a few more questions, so
Yeah,
I'd say people can reach out to you. And there
yeah.
is loads of comments saying, awesome webinar. Thanks, Donna. Great to listen to you. Great to see you. So there is plenty of love on this side of the world for you, Donna. So that's great to see as well.
I will be at ESPC in person if it's still on. I'll be there November. So all of you out there who enjoyed this webinar or have enjoyed Power Platform Week, definitely come to ESPC. There's going to be some really, really good keynote speakers and some amazing sessions right there. See, actually, that is next. But ESPC in person in November is coming up, and I am insanely excited. Thank you
Great.
so much for joining me today.
I know you have to run, Donna. So on behalf of the ESPC community, thank you for taking the time today to complete this webinar. We really appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Donna. Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, everybody, that is the end of today's webinar. Please see sharepointeurope.com for further details of all upcoming webinars, or visit our resource center for all previous episodes. Thank you again to Dona Sarkar for her fantastic presentation today. That is the end of today's webinar. I'd like to thank you for joining us. Take care and goodbye.